Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to my craft studio. Today I'm going to be working on some projects on my Bernina 990, doing a beautiful embroidery design on this giant hoop. Look at the size of this thing. It's huge. This is a front for a pillow. Isn't that cute? I designed this bunny using a couple of SVG files and with some Embroidery Legacy software, and put this design together and stitched it out pretty quickly on my giant hoop on my Bernina 990, and it turned out really good. So I'm just going to show you how I did this. In another video I'll show you how I make this into a pillow. It turned out really quick and awesome, so come with me. And I was very lucky to be part of the inner circle group of the Embroidery Legacy's Digitizing Software group. We've had very many classes with John and his colleagues discussing the software and teaching us many different things about digitizing embroidery. It has been very challenging, but yet very, very fun. And this is one of the things I have created in this software. It's a faux fur bunny applique project using 3 SVG files from Creative Fabrica. And using the software, is able to create this applique bunny by adjusting a few of the nodes and adding things and adjusting things and kind of making it my own. Now, one of the biggest things when you want to do an applique project or any kind of embroidery is get the right fusible stabilizer or the right stabilizer. And this is what I used on this project. It's a fusible woven, and I wanted to put it on the back of the main fabric I'm putting this embroidery project on. It's kind of a thin. Now you also want to stabilize your faux fur. It's kind of flimsy knit kind of material, and it was slightly see-through, so I did put like a thick non-woven fusible interface on there. Very important also to have a lint roller when you're using with any kind of furry fabrics. Also, I use Steam Light. You also use Heat and Bond, and I traced my SVG bunny on that. You could tell in this picture here, I changed the bow, got rid of that, and changed the eyes and some of the outline and details I changed around a little bit. And I fused that woven interfacing right on the back of my main fabric. And I fused it on there pretty good. Just going to leave it on because my plan is to turn this into a pillow. And I think it's going to be a really cute, fun project to do. One of the main things about using a giant hoop or any kind of hoop for embroidery, especially the bigger ones, is make sure it's good and stable. And I'm using my brand new Bernina 990. And since I fused I am putting my project right inside this hoop. I usually float my main fabric, but it will be in the hoop for this project. And the first thing we do after we load this giant hoop is make an outline stitch. And you can see on that huge screen of the Bernina 990, my project's loaded in there. And estimated time is about 39 minutes for this. It could go faster, but I do have this kind of on a low to medium speed for stitching this out. I kind of wanted to take my time and see how it's stitched out for this one, since it's my first time running this particular design. And it's just going to go around and make this outline stitch. And I will be placing down my Heat and Bond or Steam on top of this, and I'll be removing the hoop, taking it over to my table, and fusing this in place. So let's go do that right now. Okay, so I got this steamed down. I put a cloth on top of this because this is a synthetic fabric that I have this on, and so I put a cotton on top and fuse that down. And this is my faux fur, and the nap goes one direction, so I want to make sure it kind of goes downward. So I was checking it to make sure it's going the right direction. So I'm removing the paper off of this Heat and Bond Steam, and it's left with the sticky substance. And I am going to be putting my faux fur right on top of that, checking around the edges, make sure it's all lined up. Next thing I'm going to be doing is securing this down with Aqua-Mesh stabilizer. This is going to keep the nap of that fur down, so when I embroider, it will go right through and hold all those fibers down of that fur and make a really good design. It's very important that you hold the fur down when you applique on it. And so next thing, it's very, very important to secure these down really well. So I'm pinning it down around the edges and taping it on the sides using painter's tape, and make sure it's nice and secure. You can see the outline on the back of the bunny. And I still need to fuse that fur down on the top. So I'm going to be putting this little wool mat down inside here.
to give it a little bit of something for the iron to sit on, because you just don't want to put your iron on here because it will make your project a little loose. So I'm gently heating this up, getting a little heat on there to fuse that faux fur right onto this piece of fabric. And after that's good and warm, I'm going to put it right back on my machine again and push that go button, and round we go. And it's going to be tacking down that faux fur. And that Aqua-Mesh is keeping that fur down in place and keeping it from like going all different directions and gumming up the needle and stuff. And it's going to help it lay flat, and it's going to make this look like a much more cleaner project. And after this is done, gently remove it and trim away the Aqua-Mesh and the faux fur around the edges, but leave it all intact in the middle. Don't take off your Aqua-Mesh yet. So going through now, and this is going to be putting on that satin border all the way around. And this takes a little bit of time, so I'll probably put on a little music here to help pass the time while this goes around, but it's just so fun and mesmerizing to watch this just do its work. And it just so interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and be back in a few, and I'll speed this up. Next coming up here is the applique portion of the glasses, and it's just going to do the outline stitch for the glasses. And while it was doing that satin stitch, I went and picked out my HTV that I'm going to be using for these glasses and for the bow by his neck. And I picked out some raspberry pink glitter HTV to use on this section here. And it's very important when you put your HTV on that you remove that carrier sheet. You don't want that plastic to be part of your project at all. So remove that, throw it out, and go ahead and secure your HTV to your project. It's best to tape it down. Don't do what I did here and hold it, but secure it in place. If you're using fabric, you will have to remove it from the hoop probably and cut away around the edges after this is tacked down goes on. But with the HTV, what's very, very nice is the needle kind of perforates along the edges here, and it will let you just kind of rip this off when it's done. And I will be using the scissors just kind of get a little edge in here and get the little pieces out that doesn't quite make it. And anything less, you can always use little tweezers and pull it out. But it cleaned up really nice. So I'm just making a little cut there, and then I'm just going to kind of be gently ripping this around the sides. You know, look how easily that comes off. So I'm going to go back and get that inner portion of the glasses here in a moment. Getting really close to the seam, but not cutting through that seam. And clean up a couple little other edges on here. I'd normally remove this from the hoop and do it, but I didn't want to readjust my camera again, and so I'm just leaving it right in here. Just cleaning that up. See how easy it is? Now these are curved embroidery scissors, and these are specially made for embroidery, and they work great. All right, just putting that satin border around this again, and just love how this is quick and easy, and the Bernina 990 is pretty quiet also. It does a good job. Now be sure to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking about this project, if you like it. I really enjoy doing applique, and I want to do some more of these in the future. So if you like it, pop a comment in below. Also subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to be part of my group and watch my projects and give me ideas what you want to see in the future. I'm gonna make it a lot more with my Bernina 990 in the future, and give me some ideas. I love to do in the hoop projects and all different kind of appliques, and my own and from some other digitizers also. So let me know what you'd like to see. So I'm doing a little bit more stitching details here. I want you to get a close-up of this screen. Check out this large screen on this Bernina 990. It shows what it's stitching at the moment. It's doing some details there on the ears. And it's kind of going through, and it kind of tells you kind of what time is left on each little section that you're doing. Just really love how large and interactive this screen is. And you can just look down and see that's exactly what it's doing. And when this ear portion is done, it's going to go down to the nose and mouth. I'm using the same color. And when this is done, I'm going to show you how easy and quick it is to thread this machine. So watch it. This is a gold color going on next, and just looping that around and around the little bottom section here into the self-threading mechanism, and around we go, and hit that button and it self-threads just like that, and it's ready to go again. Very quick and easy. Alright, so this is an outline stitch for that bow. This was a different SVG file that I added on here and did a few modifications to. And I just wanted this bow that's so much in style right now, instead of the bow tie that's on all these bunnies and stuff. And I just loved how this turned out. Same thing, just go ahead and cut a little seam in there and just rip this right off of there. This bow's a little bit more detailed, so definitely be more careful going around some of these little curves and indent areas. And it comes out nice and detailed. Now going around this bow next is actually not going to be a satin stitch. I program in for the software to do a bean stitch, a 3-run bean stitch. And I just wanted that little bit more detail on this bow to give it a little bit more definition, and I think it came out really nice. Now I have some close-ups of this bow towards the end, so stick around and look at these close-ups that's going to be on the video here coming up. And it's going to show you how nice and detailed this stitch is. Alright, all the hoop work is done. Just going to cut off any jump threads there. There's only actually the one jump thread that I got out of the whole bunch. So, and I'm just going to now I'm going to adhere that HTV down, the glasses and the bow, and because it didn't get heat transferred on earlier. Now this is Aqua-Mesh. I could actually just run a little bit of water over this and this would dissolve right away. But I really didn't want to get this project really wet. I don't mind getting little spot places or whatever, but I want to say this fabric I put it on is probably dry clean only, and that faux fur, it's like, I don't want to, it'll just take forever to get dry. So I'm just trying to just gently cut this off, and it's coming off actually really easily. I get my embroidery scissors and just kind of undermining underneath there, avoiding the fur whenever possible, and just kind of like tearing it off. This is a cutaway, but it is tearing pretty nicely too. And so this takes a little bit of time to go through here, and so just bear with me, and this will get cleaned up really nicely, and you won't believe how this turns out. And while we're waiting, you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, and leave me a comment. This take a little bit of time. It's very important to get as much stapler off as possible, but if you did need to get this wet, I usually use like a little paintbrush and just kind of dab it in a little bit of water and go around the stabilizer and get it off. It does leave like a little starchy residue if you don't get it all the way off when it's wet, which sometimes is a little sticky. So that's why I was trying to avoid it as much as possible, because I didn't want to get this really wet. But this did come out very nice. I kind of fluffed up the fur a little bit to give it a little bit more dimension. And that fuzzy stuff kind of hanging off there is actually the stabilizer kind of shredding. Didn't really lose that much fur. The stabilizer just was really fibery. And just running that lint roller over it. That helps fluff it up a bit too. All right, now take a look at this project. Can you believe how cute this turned out? Love those raspberry colored glasses. The faux fur is so soft to touch. And let's check out that detail on that bow coming up here. There's a little bit of stabilizer sticking out the top there, and that just rubbed right off with my fingernail. Look at this, how cute that details. You can see the legs and the ears. The details coming up here at the end, so hang tight. So cute. I'll show you in another video coming up how I'm going to turn this into a pillow. And it's going to be super cute. Now I'm measuring this here to see if it was true to size for my software, and I measured about 10 by 7.5, and sure enough, that's what it came out to be. And there's plenty of room in that large hoop for even a larger bunny if I wanted it. All right, look at this bunny here. So cute. He's going to make a great pillow. Look at that detail. See, you can see that 3-run bean stitch right there on that bow. And that beautiful satin stitches. Very, very nice. All right, I will catch you on my next project and hope to hear from you soon. See you then.